Daily Trust News Center, this is the News Hour.
On News Hour tonight, controversy trails declaration and invalidation of Binani's victory announcement in Adamawa supplementary polls. Ahmadu Kabiru, House of Representatives Majority Leader Dogwa, others emerge winners of supplementary elections as results announced. Residents flee as vigilante soldiers clash in Rivers community. And on the foreign scene, Sudan death toll rises to 56 as fierce fighting rages in Khartoum. Hello and welcome to Trust TV's News Hour. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. We begin in Adamawa State, where there is uneasy calm and growing tension in the state following Saturday's governorship election rerun. The State Resident Electoral Commissioner, Hudu Ari, purportedly declared APC candidate Aisha Binani winner of the runoff poll without presenting the distribution of scores. The report.
There was an easy calm and growing tension in Adamawa State following Saturday's governorship election rerun. State Resident Electoral Commissioner Hudu Ari purportedly declared APC candidate Aisha Binani winner of the runoff poll without presenting the distribution of scores.
You see, based on the
you cannot.
Based on the score,
No, because it's about like
the APC support the highest vote.
No.
Aisha Binani
How?
Of Adamawa.
How?
Thank you very much.
But in a swift reaction, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), through its National Commissioner in charge of Information and Voter Education, Festus Okoye, distanced itself from the charade, describing it as null and void. INEC also raised alarm that its national commissioners for the exercise were afraid of being molested by certain interests. A video surfaced shortly, purportedly of the abducted national commissioners, with one of them identified as Professor Abdullahi Zuru, beaten and stripped naked by political thugs. As the confusion raged, a recorded video clip purportedly of the Adamawa governorship candidate of the APC Aisha Binani surfaced on the social media, allegedly making an acceptance speech.
Today, Adamawa stands tall on the threshold of history. My dear Adamawa State citizens and residents, I am overwhelmed and humbled by your show of love and confidence in electing me to serve as your governor as from May 29 this year and for the next 4 years.
While confusion and tension continue to mount, the governor, Umar Fintiri, addressed the citizens of the state, calling for calm in the face of what he called deliberate provocation. For now, collation of results for the Saturday's governorship rerun in Adamawa State has been suspended by the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC). The electoral umpire is also appealing to security agencies to guarantee the safety of its national officers drafted to the state, just as it directed the State Resident Electoral Commissioner to report to the INEC headquarters. Shapir Suleiman, Trust TV News, Abuja.
And still staying in Adamawa State, it remains in a state of uneasy calm following the intrigues surrounding the supplementary elections conducted in the state on Saturday. Now, contrary to protocol, State Resident Electoral Commissioner Barrister Hudi Yunusa had announced Aisha Binani of the All Progressives Congress as the winner of the polls. Salis Lawan captures the mood in the state following the drama at the State Collation Center.
Election processes are backed by a constitution and guidelines of the electoral law. There are stipulated procedures from voting, collation of results, and subsequent declaration of winners. However, this was not the case with Adamawa State Governorship Supplementary Election, as protocols were breached and the constitution overridden.
The highest vote.
No. How?
Governor of Adamawa State.
How?
Thank you very much.
How?
The announcement came as a rude shock to the stakeholders and other officials assigned to the Coalition Center and across the state.
No one will tell us what is right so long as what he is saying is not right. And we will not take it. No matter how strong that person is, no matter how mighty he thinks he is, we will reduce him to his level of nothingness. Adamawa State is a peaceful state. We are a peaceful people. But we must never ever be taken for granted. We must never ever be taken for granted. Today, I weep for what is right. I weep for the people of Adamawa State that took the pain to go and exercise their franchise as lawfully provided by law, as guaranteed by the ground norm of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
But residents have mixed reactions to the development.
So, Alhamdulillah, first I will say thanks be to Almighty Allah. So I appreciate what Allah has given us, what we are looking for, since Aisha to Binani is our choice, it's Adamawa's choice. I appreciate what God makes to us in Adamawa State today. I'm really happy I enjoyed this very day. Peacefully, successfully, because what we want our colleagues or supporters to do, just to celebrate it successfully in a good manner, so that no one will be harmed, no one will, in short, to celebrate it in a good manner.
I don't feel anything, but we are just thank God. Between Aisha to Ahmed Abdul Binani and Ahmed Umaru Finteri, anyone who get in these two people, no problem about them. But all of them, they are people, they are correct people. Who will get any one of them is good for us. So the thing that would advise the people of other state or youth of them say, don't ever do anything. Just pray for Binani. Make the government to be good for us, because as they good to the Finteri, our governor, see the back.
We feel very, very happy, seriously, because she is the only leader as a woman or as a female leader that she is doing something that is benefiting almost all the citizens of Adamawa State, because all the men leaders that we are doing, they are not doing even 50% of what she has done.
Once again, residents of Adamawa State have to wait to know who will emerge as the next governor of the state. For now, INEC has suspended the collation of results and has summoned Derek, the returning officer, and others involved to Abuja to unravel what went down. Salis Lawan, Trust TV News, Yola.
Meanwhile, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has declared the All Progressives Congress candidate, Dr. Nasur Idris, winner of Kebbi State governorship election. The returning officer of Kebbi State supplementary governorship polls, Professor Yusuf Saidu, revealed that Idris polled 409,225 votes to defeat his opponent from the opposition People's Democratic Party, General Aminu Bande, who polled 360,944 votes. According to the returning officer, a total number of valid votes was 781,478. Rejected votes were 19,082, while total votes cast were 800,560. He also added that a total of 39,244 was recorded as valid votes, 878 as rejected votes, and a total of 40,122 was recorded as votes cast in the election. Meanwhile, all party agents have signed the results without objections. While speaking to journalists, INEC National Publicity and Voter Education Commissioner, Mr. Festus Okoye, said the outcome of the supplementary election in Kebbi shows INEC is capable of doing what is right. He expressed the hope that it will build on the successes and improve on the feat recorded in Kebbi State. And in Kano, the majority leader in the House of Representatives, Alhassan Ado Dogwa, has been declared winner of Dogwa Tidumuda Federal Constituency. The returning officer, Professor Sani Ibrahim, who announced the results at the just concluded supplementary elections held across 8 wards in Tidumuda local government, said the election was contested and Dogwa, having scored the highest number of votes cast of 41,573, is therefore returned elected. His closest rival, Yusho Salisu of the New Niger People's Party, polled 34,831 votes. Dogwa, who is now going to the Green Chamber for the 5th term, is believed to be among the top contenders for the position of Speaker of the House. Meanwhile, candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Suleiman Gumi, has been declared winner of the supplementary elections conducted at Gumi Ukuyum Federal Constituency in Zamfara State. Announcing the winner, the coalition officer of the 2023 Gumi Ukuyum supplementary elections, Dr. Lawal Saad, said the PDP candidate, Suleiman Gumi, polled 35,664 votes to defeat his closest challenger, candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Ahmad Gumi, who scored 35,058 votes. The supplementary election in the constituency was declared inconclusive due to overvoting and violence at some polling units, which the Independent National Electoral Commission had rescheduled the supplementary elections to the 15th of April. Suleiman Gumi is a serving member of the House of Representatives and one of those who refused to defect with Governor Bello Matawalle to the APC but remained in the PDP with former Deputy Governor Mahdi Gusau. And still in Zamfara State, the Independent National Electoral Commission has declared the candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Ikra Aliu Bilbis, winner of the elections for the state's Central Senatorial District in last Saturday's supplementary election. He polled 102,866 votes to defeat his closest challenger, Senator Kabiru Garba Marafa of the All Progressives Congress, who scored 91,216 votes in the election. Professor Kabir Abdullahi of the Federal University Gusau, while announcing the results, said Ikra Aliu Bilbis, having scored the highest number of votes and satisfied the requirements of the law, returned elected. Ikra Aliu Bilbis, a former Minister of Information and Communication and former member of the APC, had joined the PDP last year and clinched the party ticket, which brought him victory against the candidate of the ruling APC in the 2023 general elections. APC in Zamfara State has won 2 senatorial seats, Zamfara North and West, while PDP won 1 seat, which is Zamfara Central Senatorial District. And still in Zamfara, the candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Ahmad Kabiru, has been declared the winner of Gusau Federal Constituency election. The PDP candidate polled 63,589 votes to defeat his closest rival, Sanusi Rikiji, who scored 52,495 votes. The coalition officer, Dr. Aliu Moi of the Federal University, declared Ahmad Kabiru winner of the election, having scored the highest number of votes and satisfied the requirements of the law. Ahmad Kabiru, the winner of the Gusau Federal Constituency election, is a serving member of the House of Representatives and one of those who left the PDP with Governor Bello Matawalle to the APC, and he later returned to the PDP. The victory of Ahmad Kabiru brings the number of PDP winners in the House of Representatives to 3, while APC has 4 members in the 7 federal constituencies in Zamfara State. And now to Sokoto State, where the former governor of the state and the candidate for the All Progressives Congress, Aliu Magatakada Wamako, has been declared the winner of the Sokoto North senatorial election. Wamako defeated his closest opponent, the state deputy governor, Manir Muhammad Daiya, who is the candidate of the People's Democratic Party with a margin of 23,023 votes. Announcing the results on Sunday morning, the returning officer for the Sokoto North senatorial election, Ibrahim Magawata, said after the supplementary elections, the candidate of the APC, Aliu Magatakada Wamako, scored a total number of 141,468 votes to defeat Manir Denya, who garnered 118,445 votes. He was also the deputy governor to Attahir Bafarawa for over 7 years between 1999 and 2006 before he resigned to contest for governor following political differences. And still talking elections, the Independent National Electoral Commission has cancelled Ikono Ini Federal Constituency rerun election in Akwa Ibom State as a result of widespread violence. Akwa Ibom State Resident Electoral Commissioner Dr. Cyril Omoregbe, who announced the cancellation on Saturday to journalists in Uyo, described the rerun as abysmal. Omoregbe based the cancellation of the elections in all the 17 polling units that participated in the rerun to incidences of electoral materials and bimodal voter accreditation machine snatching. The Resident Electoral Commissioner regretted that the violence led to the shooting of one corps member on duty in the leg and queried why politicians would be so desperate in a federal constituency election to the extent of shooting an innocent corps member. Meanwhile, the All Progressives Congress candidate Clement Jumbo has won the Abak Etim Ekwo Ika Federal Constituency supplementary elections in the state. Jumbo polled 22,225 votes to defeat the incumbent Anieka Umana of the People's Democratic Party, who scored 20,793 votes. Meanwhile, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has declared the candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Ibrahim Kabir, winner of Jigawa State House of Assembly supplementary elections for Birnin Kudu constituency. INEC returning officer Professor Usman Haruna announced that Kabiru Ibrahim of the PDP scored 36,050 votes to defeat his opponents, Muhammad Suraj of APC, who scored 34,545 votes, and Suleiman Abdullahi Abubakar of the NMPP, who scored 722 votes. INEC also declared the APC candidate for Dutse Local Government State House of Assembly election, Tasiu Usoja, winner of Saturday's supplementary elections. Tasiu of the APC scored 31,311 votes, while Umar Nura Isa of the NMPP scored 792 votes, and Adamu Alhaji Musa of PDP scored 28,656 votes. For the Nkwashi State House of Assembly constituency, Muhammad Ado Zoto of APC won with 9,479 votes to defeat Haruna Babangida Abubakar of the NMPP, who scored 300 votes, while Abdullahi Musa of the PDP scored 5,606 votes. The State Assembly supplementary election in Jigawa State was conducted in 19 polling units. Dutse Local Government has 7 polling units, while Birnin Kudu Local Government and Nkwashi has 6 each. The chairman of the Inter-Party Advisory Council, Yabaigi Sani, says the only factor hindering Nigeria's ability to lead Africa as the next global economic frontier is lack of pragmatic and purposeful leadership. The IPAC chairman, in an exclusive interview with Trans TV's Shafiu Suleiman, said finding the right leaders would unlock the country's potential. He noted that the country's huge population of youth held the key to changing the current underdevelopment narrative. Sani expressed optimism that its large economy, in addition to these factors, has placed Nigeria on the verge of taking its rightful place on the global stage.
That you find with everything that is needed for a country to become great, socially, politically, economically. It's the only country that has those ingredients. If you can be socially, politically, economically great, strong, and you have all the ingredients. Socially, we have young, dynamic population. So they don't think, backward. because of education and the trend in the world, they are thinking in the modern way, progressive way. That's the young dynamic population you have. You don't have, our population, like it's largely a young population, So, which means socially, we can be very strong. Then politically, we can also be strong. Why? Because we have the neck of a country that has a very large population, very strong economy, And when you have those two things, large population, strong economy, politically you are strong, because the global economic system will have to reckon with you, if not for your population, at least for your economic potentials.
And now to Kogi State, where some aspirants who participated in Friday's APC governorship primary in the state, where the former Auditor General for local governments in the state, Ahmed Usman Ododo, was the declared winner, have rejected the outcome of the process. At a press briefing in Abuja on Saturday, 4 of the aspirants dismissed the process that produced Ododo as a sham. The aspirants said that they rejected the results included Senator Smart Adeyemi, Prince Shaibu Audu, Professor Stephen Oseni, and a member of the APC National Working Committee, Yakubu Ajaka. They appealed to the APC National Working Committee to disregard the outcome.
The National Secretary of APC and the Resident Electoral Commissioner in Kogi must be prepared to explain and to tell Nigerians if there was election in the governorship election of Kogi State. The primary election was not conducted. The people came out, all of us mobilized our members. The people trooped out in their thousands. But behold, none of the officials of INEC, nor even the panel that was to conduct the elections. They were in town, but none of them came out.
Unfortunately, the electoral materials, did not arrive. Elections did not hold. It was a sham of a process. I would like to appeal to the national chairman of our great party, Senator Abdullahi Adamu. I would like to appeal to the National Working Committee to take a good look at, the problem that happened, the sham that happened on Friday, 14th of April. There was no election held, like I mentioned. It was a complete disgrace.
When we talk of the result or vote, in fact, there's no vote to be recorded. Not to talk of so person has this, the other guy has this. When there was no result, there was no election. No election ever took place in the whole exercise.
And still staying in Kogi State, Senator Dino Melai has emerged the People's Democratic Party candidate for the November 11th governorship election in Kogi State. Melai defeated other aspirants in the keenly contested primary elections. He polled over 313 votes to beat his closest rival, Barrister Kabir Usman, who had 124 votes. The primary election went on smoothly with the supervision of the Independent National Electoral Commission personnel. Dino Melai is a Nigerian politician, a former senator, and was a member of the 8th Nigerian National Assembly, representing Kogi West Senatorial District. He is from Ayetoro Bede in Ijumu local government area of Kogi State. Still with us on Trust TV's News Hour, still ahead. We'll take a look at where Sultan Attahiru made his last stand. Details of this and more after the break. Just stay with us.
Morning Nigeria. Year after year, they have informed, educated, and entertained us. When you needed information, knowledge, or an escape.
From generation to generation, the Nigerian broadcasting industry has worked tirelessly to serve you.
And now, this service will finally be recognized.
Come May 17th this year, broadcasters all over Nigeria will gather at a hotel and suites for the maiden edition of the Nigerian Broadcasting Awards, an award ceremony set to reward hard work and excellence in the broadcast media. Voting starts on 20th April and ends on 4th May 2023. Visit www.tnbawards.ng to vote now. They've served and they're still serving. It's time we say thank you. This award is organized by the Broadcasting Organizations of Nigeria, BON.
Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us on Trust TV's News Hour. Now let's take another look at our top stories. Controversy trails declaration and invalidation of Binani's victory announcement in Adamawa supplementary polls. And Ahmadu Kabiru, House of Representatives Majority Leader Dogwa, others emerge winners of supplementary elections as results announced. And in other news, many residents of Ndele community in Emuaha local government area of River State have fled following a clash between members of a disbanded vigilante group and operatives of the Nigerian Army. It was gathered that two soldiers drafted to guard oil installations in the area had an altercation with members of the disbanded vigilante group led by one Gift, which resulted in the shooting. Gift, who is reportedly a commander, allegedly shot the two soldiers, tied them up and carted away their rifles and uniforms. During the melee, fled into the bush. The situation led to a reinforcement by the soldiers who invaded the community in search of Gift, the rifles and uniforms he carted away. As the search intensified, the soldiers traced him to his hideout, during which a shootout ensued. Efforts to reach the spokesperson for 6th Division Nigerian Army Port Harcourt, Iweha Ikedichi, proved abortive as he did not answer calls or text messages pushed across to his telephone by our reporter. Meanwhile, Trust TV's Victor Edozie was there and now gives us an update.
On Sunday, many residents of the community in Emuaha local government area of River State fled their homes following a clash between members of a disbanded vigilante group and operatives of the Nigerian Army. Our reporter learned that two of the soldiers drafted to guide installations in the area had an altercation with members of the disbanded vigilante led by one Gift, which resulted in the shooting. It was further learned that Gift, a commander of the disbanded group, vigilante group codenamed Aspak, allegedly shot two soldiers and carted away their rifle uniform during the melee and fled into the bush. It was further learned that the soldiers shot were tied inside the bush with their injuries though the shooting had not been ascertained as of the time of filing this report. The situation led to a reinforcement by the soldiers who invaded the community in search of gifts, the rifle and uniform picketed their way. As the search intensified, the soldiers traced Gift to his hideout, during which a shootout ensured, but it could not be ascertained if any casualty was recorded. Seeing that Gift had fled, the operative went into his house and set it ablaze, causing pandemonium in the community as residents either fled into the bush or to several areas in order not to incur the wrath of the soldiers. A source for the community who pleaded anonymity said one of the soldiers' men came and untied the two persons inside the bush. These soldiers now call his colleagues. The traditional ruler of the area, His Royal Highness Damien Ejoho, confirmed that the soldiers had been in the community since Saturday evening in an attempt to recover the rifles seized by the vigilante. The traditional ruler said that the soldiers came since yesterday, and the OSPAC commander had a confrontation with some soldiers, and then we were told that, and he said that they were informed that they seized two of the rifles that belong to the soldiers. As I speak right now, the entire community is deserted, with many of the residents moving their belongings out of the community. Effort made to speak with the 6th Division of the Nigerian Army spokesman, Colonel Iweha Ikedichi, proved abortive as it was difficult to reach him online.
Victor Dozier there with that update from Port Harcourt. Now, still staying in Rivers State, operatives of the state's police command have busted a child trafficking gang operating in the state and neighboring states. The gang's base was located in Ubima community of Ikwere local government area, from where its tentacles spread to the environs and across state lines to neighboring states as well. The report.
A complaint from Mrs. Precious Friday of Ubima community about a missing child started the event that led to the uncovering of the gang. This led to the arrest of Mercy Ehida, who visited complaints home shortly before the disappearance of the child. The Public Relations Officer of Rivers State Police Command, SP Grace Erinji Koko, said Ehida confessed that she stole the child and two other children along with an accomplice she identified as Amaka Uhuize between February 16th and March 2023. The confession led the investigators to Delta State, where Chialuka Ehinacho and her husband Chukuma were also arrested.
Based on the follow-up case on this child trafficking, so the police arrested 4 suspects, which they confessed to the crime, that they are the syndicate that has been kidnapping children along Omawa in Ikwere local government area of the state. And through the follow-up case, we've been able to rescue 2 of the children which they abducted. And they also said that each of the child they used to buy from their adopters 500,000, 400,000, 350, and the list was 180, respectfully. That's the amount they've been buying from their adopters.
Some of the suspects and parents of the kidnapped victim spoke to newsmen.
The person I called that took them to the orphanage home, they paid 500,000. The first one, 500. The second one, 650. The third one, 500.
3 children. First one, then first of all give me 150,000. Then now later send 30,000 for me. Then second one, then give me 350,000. This third one, then give me 100,000. Then now send the remaining one for her sister account, 400, and no give me.
We get called that they get one woman with arrest in LL. So the woman, they confessed that she said that he's the one kidnapped my daughter. So after every we go there, ask the woman said that he's the one who come take away my daughter. So that he will bring back my daughter, that my daughter is alive. He will carry those children come back. And that this one here is my daughter. So God thank you that the police people, they are trying.
So I was on the farm. Somebody called me that my baby has been missing. So when I get to the house,
I find out that my baby is no longer at the house. So I have to report to the police that my baby is missing. So since then, I've been looking for my baby till today. I've not seen him. The police, they are trying their best and they are doing well. And they gave me assurance they are going to find my baby.
The police public relations officer said some of the rescued children have been reunited with their parents, but sadly efforts were ongoing to recover 2-year-old male child, Jasper Friday, who was sold at Asaba. She therefore pleaded with members of the public to furnish the police with information that could lead to the child's rescue.
Now to Kaduna State, where the military has informed the state government of an attack in Runji village in Zangon Kataf local government area in which several lives were lost on Saturday night. This was disclosed in a statement by the Kaduna State Commissioner, Ministry of Internal Security and Home Affairs, Samuel Arwan. So the preliminary report further informed the government that the attack also left some residents injured and an unspecified number of houses burnt down in the community. Governor Nasir El-Rufai, who received the preliminary report in the early hours of Sunday, has condemned the killings as unacceptable and unjustifiable. The governor condoled the families that lost their loved ones and prayed for the repose of the victims' souls. He also prayed for the speedy recovery of the injured. Now, in the midst of the vigors of providing election security, the Inspector General of Police, Usman Al-Ali Baba, has issued checks worth over 20 million naira to families of 21 officers who lost their lives in the course of their duties. The IGP's gesture was extended to the families through Katsina State Command of the Nigeria Police. Abdullahi Yamadi was at the Police Command headquarters in Katsina and now reports.
In the heat of answering the call of national duty by providing election security, the police hierarchy is doing something significant. It is remembering the families of those officers and men who died while rendering service to the nation. The Acting Commissioner of Police in Katsina, DCP Mohammed Shatima, while presenting the checks to the next of kin of the deceased officers, urged them to use the money to improve their lives for the better.
I wish to also use this opportunity to assure members of the public, especially those on the front line areas of the Nigerian Police Force and indeed other security agencies are on their toes and unrelenting on onslaught against terrorists in the state. I wish to seek for your partnership and cooperation in the ongoing campaign, without which the security agencies cannot achieve the desired results.
Responding, one of the beneficiaries appreciated the Inspector General of Police for his concern for the welfare of police and the families of personnel who lost their lives while in active service.
We really appreciate the benefits we have received this morning, and we pray that God Almighty will help us to use the money that has been given to us judicially, and the rest of the benefits we pray and we plead for the IG to help us so that we're able to train our children properly. We really appreciate your efforts.
Meanwhile, the Imam of Katsina, Abdulmumini Kabir Usman, has decorated the only police officer who was promoted from the rank of superintendent to chief superintendent of police at AIG's Zone 14 headquarters in Katsina. He is CSP Babangida Abdullahi, Wakilin Dokan Katsina. Decorating the police officer with his new rank, the Imam charged him to remain committed in the discharge of his responsibilities with utmost touch of professionalism. In a similar vein, the police command in Katsina has decorated 6 of its officers who were promoted to the next ranks.
We've received a lot of commendations, a lot of appreciations, a lot of prayers from the good people of the state. We thank them. They should extend this cooperation, this synergy with the Nigeria Police Force.
The intent behind the welfare and accelerated promotions being witnessed in the force is to rejuvenate the officers and men to face contemporary security challenges in the country with vigor. Abdullahi Ismail, Trust Television News, Katsina.
The National Population Commission has stressed that internally displaced persons and every other person residing in Nigeria will be counted during the 2023 National Population and Housing Census scheduled for May 3rd to 7th. MPC's Director of Public Affairs, Isiaka Yahaya, in a statement on Sunday, said the questionnaire for the census has been tailored to solicit information of the diverse residents in the country. The statement was in response to Governor of Benue State, Samuel Ortom, and the President of Middle Belt Forum, Bitrus Pogu, who called on the federal government to postpone the 2023 population and housing census due to fear of exclusion of IDPs in the exercise. He stated that the 2023 census methodology was a robust and tested procedure for the enumeration of the IDPs in Nigeria, which he described as in line with international best standards. He said the prevalence of the IDPs should be a reason for census taking, as it will generate demographic data that governments at all levels, private sectors, international development partners and relief agencies will require to plan for the provision of food items, empowerment and social facilities to the people in IDP camps. Now, it's been 120 years since the killing of the 12th Sultan of Sokoto, Muhammad Attahiru, by the British colonial forces in 1903 at Bormi village. Sultan Attahiru, who resisted the British colonial government, was on a journey to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia when the colonial troops fought him at Bormi over a century. After the war, Bormi is now a ghost town, harboring only the tombs of Sultan Attahiru, the chief imam of Sokoto, and a British commander, Major Francis Charles Marsh. Trust TV's Ibrahim Ismail, who was at Bormi, examined the historical significance of the battlefield. Let's take a look.
Located in Funakai local government area of Gombe State, Bormi is over 76 kilometers away from the capital, Gombe. Bormi, which was founded by warrior Modibo Jibril Lagaini, was renowned for resistance against the British colonial forces. It had defensive trenches and walls which strengthened its army against their enemies in the 20th century. According to historians, the war between Attahiru and the British ensued when the Sultan revoked an agreement entered into by his predecessor, which granted the British Royal Niger Company a right to conduct business within and around the Sokoto Caliphate.
Some said that, okay, the Caliph should stay behind and scum or submit himself to the British forces, while the Caliph on his part decided that he will just embark on Hijrah in tandem with the opinion or the what his grandparents predicted, particularly Usman bin Fodio. So he decided to embark on Hijrah. He preferred to embark on Hijrah actually than to scum or submit to British forces. So he embarked on this Hijrah, and it took him about a month to even reach Bormi.
Sultan Attahiru, the Caliphate chief imam, and the British commander, Major Francis Charles Marsh, were buried in the battlefield of Bormi.
All your ears could hear here at Bormi is sound of birth. It is here that in 1903, the British fought late Sultan Attahiru Muhammad of the Sokoto Caliphate, where he was killed, and over 600 of his supporters were also killed during a fight that shows the stance of the Sokoto Caliphate against the British colonial masters.
After the war, the British forces banned locals from erecting structures or settlements in Bormi village. It was turned into farmlands for people of neighboring villages like Garing Abba and Bulagaidam. Bulagaidam village is the biggest village, barely a kilometer from Bormi. It was established after the Battle of Attahiru and the British in 1903. Abdullahi Ali is 85 years old. He was raised in Bulagaidam and was told the history of Bormi by his ancestors.
The British forces warned Gombe Emirates not to allow anyone erect structures
in Bormi. They also warned traditional rulers in Ashaka and Bulagaidam to enforce the order because they are closer to the place. They should not allow even Fulani herders to erect temporary huts.
Bulagaidam, kuna kusa da wurin, kada ku bari ai ko buka a cikin Bormi.
After some years, an unknown person built a hut at Bormi. He wrote a letter claiming he is the Mahdi. The letter was handed over to me. I declined to read because of the content. The traditional ruler of Ashaka ordered the village head of Bulagaidam to burn the hut, and he did.
Sai ɗauka ya kawo mini a ni ya kawo ma da na duba nace wani wasiƙan ya fi ƙarfi na ba zan iya karanta ba tunda mutumin shi yace shi wai shi mahadi ne
kadalan yara ƙananan nan kan ba wanda ya san wani yawa cikin Bormi.
The youth don't know anything about the history of Bormi. The village is now our farmlands, and all of us cultivate annually.
The battle that took place at least less than 12 hours, but it led to the demise of about 20,000 people. So the situation, the town is deserted, but you have the tomb maybe neglected somehow, because if you look at various explanations or sources or researches carried out on that particular place, it shows that even though it has been proposed as one of the world Islamic sites alongside other places in Nigeria, nothing tangible is yet to be done.
It was gathered that descendants of late Sultana Tahiru and that of British commander Major Francis Charles visited the tombs at the same time decades ago. However, the two bereaved families did not exchange pleasantries, which was interpreted by scholars to mean that both sides are still at loggerheads over a battle that took place 120 years ago.
The traditional institutions that had tremendous powers, absolute powers, have been reduced to mere robustum, and this impact is a recurring thing now.
Although Sultan Tahiru was defeated by the British, but he will always be remembered for his strong stance for an independent caliphate and his defiance against the British colonial masters in the 20th century. From Bormi battleground, Ibrahim Ismail, Trust TV News.
You're still watching Trust TV's News Hour. There'll be more news after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to Trust TV's News Hour. Now for a look at the foreign scene. The sounds of gunfire and heavy artillery reverberate across Sudan's capital, Khartoum, for a second day, as doctors say at least 56 civilians have been killed in fighting between the army and a powerful paramilitary force. Sunday's fierce fighting came as the United States, Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates called for the opposing sides to immediately end hostilities without precondition. The Sudanese Doctors Union said at least 56 civilians had been killed and 595 people, including combatants, and had been wounded since the fighting between the military and the Rapid Support Forces erupted on Saturday. The two sides have been competing for power as political factions negotiate forming a transitional government after a 2021 military coup. The tensions stem from a disagreement between the military, headed by General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, and the RSF, led by General Mohammed Hamdan Dagalo, about how the paramilitary force would be integrated into the armed forces and what authority should oversee the process. And a fire has swept through an apartment building in an older neighborhood of Dubai in the United Arab Emirates, killing at least 16 people and injuring 9. The Dubai Civil Defense Force said preliminary investigations showed the fire was caused by a lack of compliance with building safety and security requirements. Dubai, one of the 7 emirates of the United Arab Emirates, has a population of about 3.3 million, of whom nearly 90% are foreigners. The nationality of the victims has not been released. And in sports, British heavyweight Joe Joyce's world title ambitions were derailed as he suffered a 6-round technical knockout loss to China's Zhilei Zhang at London's Copper Box Arena. 37-year-old Joyce was staggered several times and had no answer to Zhang's power as he suffered his first professional loss. The ringside doctor twice inspected Joyce's swollen eye before the referee halted the contest in the 6th. Joyce, the 2016 Olympic silver medalist, was the mandatory challenger for unified champion Alexander Usyk's WBO title and was on the cusp of a world title shot. And in football, leaders Arsenal missed a penalty and threw away a 2-goal lead as they drew at West Ham, which gave a blow to their hopes of winning the Premier League title. A close-range finish from Gabriel Jesus and Martin Odegaard's volley put the visitors 2-0 ahead inside the opening 10 minutes at London Stadium as they looked to be cruising to victory. But just as they did in the 2-2 draw at Liverpool last Sunday, Mikel Arteta's side could not hold on to their advantage and dropped valuable points in their title battle with Manchester City. Said Benrahma's penalty, after Gabriel had brought down Lucas Paqueta, gave the Hammers a way back into the game. Before Arsenal got a spot kick of their own following Michail Antonio's handball, but Bukayo Saka shot wide. That proved costly as the hosts scored less than 3 minutes later through Jared Bowen's superb volley from Thilo Kehr's lofted pass. West Ham, still 15th on the table, but now 4 points above the relegation zone, could have won it when Antonio's header bounced off the crossbar in a frantic finish. Arsenal began the weekend 6 points clear of City, but that has now been cut to 4 after Pep Guardiola's side won 3-1 at home against Leicester on Saturday. The Gunners have 7 matches left and play Southampton at home on Friday, before City, who have a game in hand, entertain Arsenal at the Etihad Stadium on the 26th of April. Italy striker Ciro Immobile is being treated for back and rib injuries in a hospital after his car was involved in an accident with a tram in Rome. Photographs show police at the scene of a collision between a tram and a car. 33-year-old Immobile scored in Lazio's 3-0 Serie A win at Spezia on Friday. A club statement said the player remains under observation at the Department of Emergency Medicine, directed by Professor Francesco Franceschi of the Policlinico Universitario Agostino in Rome. Lazio hosts Torino in their next game on Saturday. Meanwhile, ex-Super Eagles of Nigeria midfielder Emmanuel Ebede has passed away at the age of 47 following liver complications. The ex-Heronville and Sharks of Port Harcourt midfielder died at the Rivers State University Teaching Hospital after a bout with illness that resulted in hepatology complications. United Kingdom-based football administrator David Doherty confirmed the death of the former SC Heronville player. Doherty had gone on a campaign to raise funds for Ebede's treatment at the time the news broke about his condition. Ebede started his career with his hometown team, Sharks of Port Harcourt, before moving to Europe with Belgian club Eindracht Aalst, and also played in the Netherlands with Heerenveen, as well as in the UAE with clubs like Al Jazeera, Al Ain, and Ashdod, before moving to Israel with Maccabi Petah Tikva and Hapoel Bnei Lod. Meanwhile, the Nigeria Football Federation, in a tweet, has mourned the late midfielder. And on that note, we wrap up Trust TV News Hour for tonight. Don't forget, for more news, you can subscribe to watch us live on YouTube and follow us across all our social media platforms. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Have a lovely evening.
Trust News Center, this is the News Hour.